podcasts are popping up all over. And who's downloading them? We are. About a third of the podcasts that are downloaded are done by those 55 and older. If you haven't tuned in yet but want to find out how to listen in, then listen up, because Dave Jackson is here to tell us. Dave is a podcast consultant and owner of the schoolofpodcasting.com. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us first, what's a podcast?
A podcast is a little bit like radio, except radio you have to listen at a certain time. So this is radio on demand, and you can listen on your computer, you can listen on a tablet. If you listen on your, if you have a smartphone, that makes it even more fun, because now you can listen to whatever you want, and there are thousands of titles to listen to. You can listen wherever you want, and then whenever you want.
Wow.
So, and the great thing is 99% of them are free.
Oh, even better, yeah. So how do we, there's topics that we can tune into. How do we know what the topics are?
It's hard to say. There are a bazillion of them. Think of it a little bit like a TV show, or a newspaper would be even better. Because you think it, newspaper, there's politics, there's lifestyle, there's sports, things like that. So there are these wide-ranging topics, but there's also, you can go hyper niche. Like there's somebody here in Cleveland that does one, it's called the Beard Podcaster, and it's about professional bearding. I have a friend of mine who does one for a minor league soccer team in Cincinnati called Cincinnati Soccer Talk, and that one was so hyper niche and hyper local that he actually got a sponsor.
Wow, wow. How long do podcasts run, and how often are they aired?
You can be as little as 2 minutes. There's a great quote from a radio executive that said, "There is no such thing as too long, there's only too boring." And so I have a client of mine that did a show for farming, and she sent me her first episode, and it was 3 hours long, and I'm like, "Judy, it's 3 hours long," and she goes, "Yeah, I know, my audience says it's too short," because her audience is farmers. They're out on a tractor 8 hours a day, and they're like, "Where's the next one?" So a lot of people try to make them like 20 minutes because that's allegedly the average commute in America, but it can be really whatever you want. And in terms of schedule, that again is kind of up to you. It could be daily, weekly, monthly. You don't really have to have a schedule. If you can, it's great, because now you're part of somebody's routine. But there's one podcaster that's completely thrown it out the window, and he takes months between episodes. It's called Dan Carlin. He does hardcore history. But when it comes out, it's such great content that he literally gets hundreds of thousands of downloads the first day. It's amazing. And
they're long podcasts, I assume?
Yeah, it's like 3-4 hours long. It's crazy.
Do you have to be really techie, you know, like my kids are more techie than I am to handle a podcast?
Not really. I always say if you can upload a picture to Facebook, then you can upload, you have file management down. If you've ever been in the car and the phone rang and you turn down the radio, you know how to mix audio. So you don't really have to be a giant geek. And in terms of if you wanted to find one, probably the easiest way is if you just went to Google. So let's say I was looking for retirement planning. Well, if I put the word podcast at the end of that, retirement planning podcast, and hit search, you're probably going to find something that you can listen to and give it a try.
All right. And if we have something to say, we want to do our own podcast, is that easy as well?
That's easy. Come see me, schoolofpodcasting.com. Been doing it for 12 years, and I can help you with equipment and things like that. But basically, I just help you start, launch, and grow your podcast.
And growing is getting out there, getting the word out there that you've got this great podcast. All right. Sounds very interesting. I'm going to have to podcast something.
That's it.
So. Thanks to podcasts, you can find information, history, sports, plain old storytelling, and more just waiting for you to take a listen. My thanks to Dave Jackson for helping us to take a peek into the podcast world.
Find out more by contacting the School of Podcasting at 234-542-0893 or click to www.schoolofpodcasting.com.